Hi everyone, my name is Emma. I'll be your Adobe coach that we will be running today's Adobe Express video workshop. Um, it will be hosted by myself as well as Dr. Beta as well, who'll be running through an introduction on the design for change for 2026. So, just to start off with an acknowledgement of country, the Adobe Digital Hub team is honoured to acknowledge the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation, who are the traditional owners of the lands in Hawthorn and Melbourne's East and Outer East. We also acknowledge the traditional owners of lands and their elders, both past and present, across the various locations in Australia where our students may be learning. So, for today, our session will cover a couple of things with getting you set up in how to use Adobe Express for using video. So, to begin with, we'll you start off on how to start a project. Then we'll go through how to add media in terms of video, text, and images. We'll also use some templates and themes, and we'll finish off by exporting a finished video. So we'll jump to beta for you to run through a bit of an introduction. I'll just stop sharing my screen.
Thank you so much. I am going to share this summary of the Design for Change 2026. So we already covered the Agile workshop and Adobe Figma in week 2 and 4. So here we are with Adobe Express Video. We already discussed about who we are, a group of educators from Swinburne from different disciplines who is looking for those, I guess, passionate students with the science communication. It doesn't need to be a scientific item or a topic. It could be your a product from what you're doing across different discipline. Emma is from design. It could be from design. It could be from engineering, science, art, business. So if this is your internship, if this is your capstone project, if this is your industry link project, or just simply it's your passion, so you come with a definition of a problem, and then you're coming with a process of a design solution or recommendation, and then this could provide an estimated impact, especially if that is aligned with the sustainability goals, and especially if that comes with the economic impact. That would be an entry in the format of 4-minute video. That's why our next workshop and last one, which will be confirmed, we inviting the guest speaker from our industry partner, insurance company, to cover the startup pitch presentation. If you're interested to join in this competition, you're welcome to submit your 4-minute video, startup with, the design idea to the problem that you identify by Monday, 1st of June. If your video is selected as a finalist, then you will be invited to the live online showcase event with the presence of the judging panel. And that will be on Thursday, 4th of June at 5 p.m. What are you going to achieve is the judging choice for the best video, which is coming 4-minute video, $400, a certificate of participation, credit, and we will instruct you how to you can apply this for your employability award, and a story of success will be published at Swinburne newsletter. So if you're interested to find more about the winning video, so you're welcome to scan this QR code, which will take you to the Shaping STEM Futures program, our YouTube channel, and that provide a lot of these winner videos in these different annual competitions that we are running. But with that, I would like to stop sharing, and then I pass to Emma to take us to the Adobe Express for the video production.
All right. So, and you can see my screen now too, Beta.
Yes, we are.
Okay, so Just to start off with, once you have logged into Adobe Express, all you need to do is just use your student email and password, and it will bring you to this page. If you have used Canva before, Express is sort of Adobe's equivalent. So it's got a lot of very basic templates, and it's a really great way if you haven't used any sort of design software or anything like that, this is a really great way just to sort of get a really basic and easy tool to be able to do any projects, and especially for something like this. So just to guide you here, you'll be able to see a couple of different templates and different tools that you can use. So for today, we'll be using the video template. So you can either go along this bottom part, or you can also go to the blue plus up at the top left. So if we click on this, this will give you a couple of other templates and things to navigate. For us, we will be going through to the video, and we will choose this video landscape option. So it's a 19 by 20 at 1920 by 1080 pixels. So we'll click on this one, and this will take us to our artboard. Now, if you haven't used something like this before, it might start to look a little bit confusing, but we'll break it down. On the left-hand side here, you will have heaps of tools and things that you will be able to access throughout making your video. Down the bottom here will be what's called our timeline. This will show all the different videos and elements that we add in, which I will show just in the next couple of steps. And this here, this is called our artboard. This is going to be where we have all of our videos, and it's sort of like our canvas that we'll be working with. So just to get started, what we will do to begin with is we will name our file up the top right, the top left, sorry, and we will call this Adobe Express Video. Depending on your project, it might be a good idea to call it something that you will be able to recognize and remember, but now you can see that's updated from what it was originally, just with the date. This here with the little cloud means that it connects to the Creative Cloud, so you'll be able to access the project on your account. So what we will go through and do now will be to the left-hand side under the Add Content tool. Here, what we will do is go to Media, and this is where you'll be able to upload any videos, photos, and anything like that you would like to have for your proposal. So what we can do, for now, I will show you how to upload from a device. So if you've done any recordings yourself and you want to use the video from that, you can go upload from device. I'll just use this video for an example for today. And we'll just click open. And you can see here that that's loaded into your artboard. What you can also see is down the bottom, it has activated our timeline, and that will be able to make some additions to that now. So if you have a look down the bottom, you can see here in this little white box that the video that I've uploaded is 20.8 seconds. So for you, it might depend on your recordings or what you're using in your videos, that might be longer, might be shorter, it's up to you. Say, for example, that for me like this, 20 seconds is going to be a bit too long. What we can do is see how, as I hover over the edge of the video clip here, there's a little arrow. You can slide this, and you can see as it moves, there's a little bit of a gray area that starts to grow, and we're just shortening the video. So say if I want to make it 10 seconds instead of 20, just drag it to 10, like that. And now you can see that's updated underneath here. Another way you can do it as well, if I just go Control Z to undo, you can also move this little cursor here. So you can click and drag on it to find your time that you want to have, let it go. And what you can do is come up to this section here, and we can split it. This will basically just divide it into half. So I'll just try that one again. Move that to where we want it. You can also go right click and go split. And see, now you can just see that that video has split into two. So say then you can right click again and delete that second half if you would prefer, rather than dragging it. Either will work. So now you can see that we've got our 10-second clip. And you can see up the top here as well, this 10 seconds here will be your total duration. So you can see here that's your individual clip length and the total clip length will be up the top. So if we click on the video we have inserted into our artboard, we can do a couple of things to make some adjustments. Now, my video that I've uploaded doesn't have any volume. If it did have some background noise or some speaking in the video, you can either turn it down by using this little slider, or it would have another option to change it to mute, to just mute the volume. So for this, I don't have any here, but we can come back to another example later. Another good thing to do is that you can adjust the speed of the video. So what we can do is if you drag it across here, you can see now that that becomes 5 seconds. So at 200%, it's like 2 times speed. So you can drag the little toggle to the start of the video, press play, and you can see that the butterfly's wings are moving a lot quicker. Otherwise, if you decide you want to slow it down, just do the same thing. Drag the toggle to the left-hand side. You can see now that that's up to 40 seconds and it's much slower. So it just depends what you'd like to do with your video and what might the circumstances be. What we can also do is up on the top panel here under effects, there are a couple of options if you go view all. If you want to add any colors to the video, you can. It's up to you. It depends on the recording and what look you're after. You probably might not need it, but again, if you want it to look more stylized, there is an option to do that. So say if I like this tangerine one here. You can also use this little custom tool. So you can change the shadows, which are the darker parts of the photo that will be here. So for example, if you click on this, if you go under custom, you can use the little shade tool and you can see the difference that it makes on the video itself. So say if you like it more red or prefer green, you can change that to however you would like. And same thing with the highlights too. Say if you'd prefer more pink tones, and you can just go around and have a play with that. So you can see you've got a bit more control. So another thing that I will point out is the animation. So this is sort of like doing transitions if you've used PowerPoint. It's basically just creating some movement within the video. So what we can do, there are 3 options here, in, loop, and out. In is basically how it will come into the frame, which sounds fairly straightforward. Loop will be stuck while in the middle of the video, and out will be how it sort of exits the frame. So the really good thing with this is that if you hover over the transitions, you'll get a preview of how these look. Some of them might suit better for your proposals than others. A lot of it you'll be able to sort of come up with, and it's a bit more interactivity. So you can see you've got some options here. I think I quite like the look of, I like the one of the fade here. So you can click on the fade, and there are also some of these options here to change the duration. So say if you want it to be longer, say let's just see what 2 seconds is like, and we'll just play again. You can see how that one has applied it to there. Okay. The next thing, let's do the out. So this will be how it finishes. If we say we like the circle or flicker, you can also do the same fade transition and other options down here as well. What I might do is this circle, same thing again, you can adjust the duration. You can also, if you have a particular amount, you can just type it in here like that. Some of the transitions have a personality. So this just depends on which one you select. It's more so just about the strength of it almost. So the smooth one is a bit slower, a bit softer. Strong is a bit stronger. And then there's also energetic too. So there are a couple of different options that you can play around with that. I quite liked the smooth one, and it would just soften it a little bit. Now for the loop, what we can do, same thing again. these ones will be a good option if you're wanting to draw the audience's eye to something specific on screen. It might depend on what you're wanting to do with it in particular. Um, and you can sort of just have a play around. Some of them might be a bit too busy, but you can just have a play and see what will work for you. So let's have a look and see. If we go back to our timeline, we'll just start at the beginning, press play, and you can see those are the transitions that we've just applied, like that. So at least you can sort of just get the idea about how it looks. You can also press the preview button down on the left-hand side of the panel, or you can remove them all and start again if you would like to. All right, so let's do another, we'll insert some more media. So we'll go down to the bottom. You can either do it this way by clicking on the plus to add media. You can either upload from your device if you've got more recordings, or you can add another blank screen. The other way you can do it is by going to the left-hand side menu to go through media, and there are more options from where we came before. So you can go through photos specifically, you can upload from your device, otherwise there are options here for some Adobe stock images. The really great thing with these ones that you have access to as part of your student license is that all of these images you have full premium access to, and they are also copyright free. So this means that you don't need to reference anyone, and the original work of the artist is all credited and paid for by Adobe. So that's all done on your behalf. You don't need to worry about that. So that's the same with these videos here. So let's just say you can see these ones here also have the duration of how long the video is, and there's options for landscape videos as well as some portrait options as well. Now just keep in mind, because the size of the artboard is the landscape version, it might be probably a good idea, depending on what your proposal or your video is going to have, it may be a good idea just to think about having landscape videos that are going to take up the whole screen. So just if we decide that we like this one, you can drag and drop the media like that, and you can see that it then will be added on after this first clip that we've done. So now you can also see up the top of the timeline that it's 24 seconds now, and this clip here is 14 seconds. So same thing again, if I decide that I don't want it so long, you can just drag it and just shorten it a bit. Now, the other thing that we can do, similar to like PowerPoint slides, we can add transitions from one video to another. So sort of like adding one transition from one slide to the next. What you can do is then click on this little plus. You can either insert more content if you would like to, otherwise we'll go add transition, and we can add some in that way there too. So either if you would want it to dip to black, dip to white. You will also just have to keep in mind if you have added any in or out animations for the first clip, just check and see in the preview how they will go from one to another as you press play, just so that it doesn't look too cluttered, or it looks quite consistent as you're moving through it. So say if we did want to dip to black, let's just have a look. You can also move your cursor here. So say if you don't want to look through the whole video, we'll just press play from there. So you can see how we had the circle effect here. It went to black and then also went to the second clip. So that might be a good way just to create some interactivity and sort of create it a bit more of an exciting video to look at as well for the audience. Now, if you decide you don't want it, you should just be able to right click or just click delete. There you are. So that one has gone there. So now that's back to the plus.
Emma, I just want to
Yes.
ask you a question. Now
Mhm.
you are in the process of showing how we can use of the devices or some of the documents that is available here. Like, let's say if I'm thinking most of the students using PowerPoint to create their video. Um, so the way that it works, if we prepare a slide that we want to record it, and we want to create a video with Adobe Express, what is the steps involved?
As in, we're doing the recordings or making it all together?
So, as in, if we need to bring the slides or we need to record the slides, then we bring the recorded slides here. What do you recommend? If
What I
so,
would suggest, probably do one or the other. I'd suggest working just with Express on its own.
mm,
It is sort of similar to PowerPoint in being able to do the transitions and all of that. But I
mm,
would say that it's easier to make it as a video in Express here,
okay.
as you'll be
So
able to
you do.
record audio and add music and things like that too.
All right. So that means that whatever students want to add in the PowerPoint, they can start adding here, like a text and all the information with the length of that. It can be added here. Like if I want to come and introduce my topic in the beginning of the video, I can just start adding the title and I start recording
Yeah,
is yeah.
absolutely. So what we can do, I'll show you how to do that now. If you click where the the black cursor is here,
Mhm,
let's see if we want, should be able to, I just want to be able to add a new frame. If we go, let's just see. Let's just add a blank screen. So here we can also click and drag the order of these. So say if we just want to
mm,
have this first screen just with some text to introduce your proposal. So we've got our blank artboard here and we've got it set at 5 seconds for the duration for now.
mhm,
What we can do is if we go to the left-hand side and go under text, we can add a text box. So first you can start
mm,
off going add your text and it will create a text box on your artboard. So
mm,
here you can change it to whatever you would like to have on there for the proposal. So for me, I'll just do Adobe Express for now, just so you
mm,
can get the idea. Here you would have some controls with changing the font and things like that. So back to the left-hand side panel, if you go under Edit, you'll be able to change the look and the feel of the text as well. So you can go under this drop-down menu here, and there will be heaps of fonts. So you can go under More Fonts. These are all connected with Adobe fonts. So Adobe
mm,
has its own platform where they have heaps of different fonts that you can pick from, all again that you have full premium access to with your student account. So say if you have one in particular, you can download it, or if there's one that you like here, we can just go with that. Say for example, I like this one. You can see that that will update. You can also change what's called the font family. So there's different versions of it. So if you prefer something thin or if you prefer something heavy, there's also options for that too. Might just go this heavy one here. What you can also do is change the size of the text. So under here, you can use the plus or the minus. You can also click on the number here and there's a drag down option of some standard sizes. So you can go through and just see what works for you depending on how much information you have that you want to present. And these little pink lines that pop up when you drag things into the middle, that just makes sure that everything's centered vertically and horizontally. You can also change the color of the text if there's some default ones you like, or again, you can use the custom color palette and you can pick through whichever color works. I'll do that purple one to match that butterfly video we've done. Okay, so now you can see here that's applied on our video. So when we just drag it across, you'll see then that will transition into the rest of the video here. One thing you will might want to consider is having some audio. What you can do here, you can go add audio. This might depend whether you have a voiceover that you want to record or if you want to have music or both, you can do that. You can record the voiceover straight in Adobe Express just by clicking the record voiceover function here, and it will then insert into this bottom part underneath the video. Another thing that you can do is if you've already recorded it, whether it's on your phone or another platform that you've recorded the audio, you can do the same thing by uploading it from the device, like what we did with the videos. Another thing you can do as well is there are options with different songs, sorry. So they've got a couple here. So it will be, there's a couple of different genres of music depending on what you like the sound of for the or the theme of the video. Underneath, you can also see the length on how long the song will be. So let's just say, let's pick a shorter one because our video at the moment isn't very long. You can just click and drag, and you can see now that has gone underneath the video, and that will then play at the same time. Another thing, like the videos, you can drag on the audio and you can place it around if there's a particular time that you want it to play. So say if you don't want it exactly at the beginning when we've put the title on, you want it to sort of start after, you can do that. It is entirely up to you. You can also see some of these ones here. You can mute some of the sound, you can duplicate it, and also change some of the audio fade effects as well. So if you want it to start quieter and then build up louder at the beginning, or then slowly quieten at the end, you've got options to be able to play around with that as well.
And
So
if there are two voices, so for example, I'm talking, but there is a music background, we can adjust these two for my voice to be clear and for the background to be um, as a kind of a smooth background noise.
absolutely. So here, when you've got the music selected, on the left-hand side, you've got the volume percentage. So you can just make it a little bit quieter if you don't want it as loud and you just want it in the background with your voice behind it. You can do that. So that's a good way, just also something to keep in mind. Have a couple of goes, just having a listen as you're going throughout making the video, just as you're making it, just sort of see and listen how loud you think some parts of it are, if they need to be quiet, or if you can't hear it, you might just need to make a couple of adjustments. Okay, one other thing. So, say if you do have your music, you can then go add content, and you'll just be able to do the same thing and upload your voiceover or record it in here, and you'll be able to add it at the same time. You can, for example, have that underneath, and you'll be able to listen to the music and your voice at the same time rather than just one or the other. So, this is sort of a good place at the moment for how you'll be able to use a lot of the functions. If, for example, you did want to make any edits, you can click on the video layer edits, and that will be able to bring up this video panel tool, which you can then go back, change the effects, change the animation, and that sort of thing there as well. If, for example, you want to have a particular theme in terms of the colors, you can navigate to the left-hand side panel here with the theme, and there are some other options for color palettes and things you can play around with. So you can see there are some options there. If you're not 100% sure on making your own colors, there are options here. You can also go through and create a shuffle, so that will go through and randomize the different color palettes, and you can just sort of see what will work for you. That then applies to this video that we've made. So now you can see the background part here is pink rather than white that we had at the end. So it's just something to keep in mind as well if you want to have a little bit more personalization on there too. So that's sort of at a good point with where you want to have some of your videos. One other thing I will show quickly as well is if you decide you want to have part of this butterfly carrying on top, or a product or something as part of your solution playing on top of this video, what we can do is if I go on the plus, we'll just upload this butterfly video that I had. Go open. So that's our original video there. Now I'll just make this a bit shorter again. Okay. And what we can do is if you press Um, you just get that button. What you'd be able to do is edit the size and shape of the image. So if you click on X on your keyboard, it will bring up some crop options on the left-hand side. So say for example, you want to have your image in the shape of a circle. You can press on the circle on the left-hand side and you can see that tool applying to the video in the middle of your screen. You can click and drag on your video and depending on the placement, you can just adjust that and click done. And you can see now that that video is sort of in like a little cookie cutter sort of shape. So say now we can have a look and see that we've got that first video where we've applied those transitions into here where we've got the circle as the little cookie cutter shape and then we've got the mountain. So say if we wanted to have this circle butterfly, we'll just copy that. Oh, it's a bit temperamental sometimes. We should just be able, oh, bear with me for just a second.
That was my next question because 4-minute video for some of the assignment, it's maybe shorter. So if we can have a different layers of one layers, for example, I want to talk about a device in the lab. I record the device in the lab. I have a video. So then I can, at the same time I'm talking, I can present that video of the device is working in the lab. So it's more interactive and it's saving time, especially like
Absolutely.
I'm thinking because there is this one is the design idea. At the same time that I'm talking, I have a video of, for example, mobile application or a poster or a website. So it's going, I can go through that process and showing different aspect of it. So
Yeah, absolutely. And I think this will be a good way that you can don't have to have one part of the video all on all the time. This is where you can show different features throughout the video as well. But this part is just being a little bit harder at the moment just to get that.
so what we are planning to do, we want to bring that sickle surrounded with a pink color on the top of the video that it comes with the mountain. So once we see the mountain, we can see that sickle of the flower on the embedded into the same video. Is that what we are trying?
That's what I'm trying to do. There
Mm-hmm.
is a little trick on how to do it, but it doesn't seem to be working for me at the moment. Little things like this might come up when you do play around with it that it might not work all of the time, but you can sort of just get.
Can we take it to the top, but just um because yeah, because um
I
how
might
it
leave it for now, but that might
mm,
be something that you want to have a play around with when you are doing the designs. There is a way to do it, but it doesn't seem to be working for me at the moment. So ideally, what you would have is this little circle. Let's see. There we go. So
mm-hmm,
rather than selecting the whole frame underneath, click on the image that you do want to have as the overlay and then paste it on this frame here. So now you can see that we've got our individual circle on top of the mountains. So now I'll
perfect.
just,
Can you please just repeat this section
yeah,
again?
so I'll just delete that part. So on your part here where you've made the little cookie cutter of the
Mm-hmm,
image, click on the image here, go
mm-hmm,
Control C for copy, and then click on the artboard that you want to paste onto and Control V, and now you can see that that applies. Now what you can do is it comes up with the blue outline around the sides. You can click and drag using the Shift key as well. Click and drag that to scale it down. So that way, if you don't want to have it so big, you can have it in the corner, you can have it in the center, wherever you would like. And now going back to the timeline, you can see that now that butterfly circle is on top of the video layer. So you can see that whatever will be on top here is on top on the video. So now I'll just go back to this original one and we'll delete that. And now you can see as we start to drag that across that that will appear on the side of the screen like that. Cool. So let's just say you've got all of your videos, you've got all of your media. What you will do if you get to a point where you're all done, you can go up to the top corner of your screen and go download. This will give you a couple of options in terms of file formats. Now, for video, MP4 will be best. There are other options, but they're not best. They won't be as suitable for videos. So stick with the MP4. And you can also choose the video resolution, the 1080p, which is the original size. That is a good recommended size. The 4K you'll be able to do as well, but it will be a larger file size due to the higher resolution. So just keep that in mind as well. So we'll just use that and you can click on download and that will download onto your computer. Now, if you need to do a link or if you want to share a link, you can click on the blue share button up the top right corner. Gives you a second, but then it will come up with an option to share a file. So you can give someone a link, whether you want that to be anyone or if it's certain people that you give the link to that can only view it. Just keep that in mind as well if you're sharing it to be careful with who you select as who can share it or can see it. And then just copy the link and share that with whoever else you need to. But that is pretty much all that you can do for here. But there are heaps of resources online as well, and some other ones that I will show you quickly too. So yeah.
Thank you. So this is if this is an assignment in the Canvas, for example, they can share the link, um, the MP4. Is that creating the MP4 link that or that they can add to the Canvas?
Let's have a look. If I go copy link, and we'll open up a new tab. So the link will share it back to the Express
Mm.
file. However, you will be able to still view that as a whole video. So you can see as you go through, that is all there. So you can still watch it, but the link is more so to the Express page rather than just the video itself.
So if the students created, they want to share with the, with the unit convener as a format of the MP4, then what is the procedure?
So what they can do is one way you could be able to do it is if you have like a YouTube account, you can upload
Mm,
it to YouTube too,
okay. Yeah.
and then submit the YouTube link
Yeah.
to the assignments page, and that way
Mm-hmm.
then they'll be able to access the video that way.
Mm-hmm.
Let me just have a look and
Or
double.
maybe in the Google Drive, they can,
Yes.
yeah.
So there's other options for Google Drive, OneDrive as well.
Mm, all
So it
right.
might just depend what you have
Yes.
set up as well.
Yes. Okay. That makes sense.
Otherwise, if you download it from here, it will be as a video format. So that, depending if it's just for 4 minutes, see
Mm,
if it's how big the file is. You may
mm,
be able to upload it to Canvas, but if it's just as a link, can try to upload it to YouTube and submit the YouTube link that way.
yes.
Cool.
Yeah, so you were about to show the students about some of the additional resources if in case they need more information. Of course, Emma will let us know how we could be set an appointment with the Adobe coaches. So
Yes.
and of course something that is available to all of our staff and students.
Yeah, so with the Adobe Hub, I am one of 5 coaches for this semester. We are currently in the library in level 3. So you can book in a drop-in session with us for half an hour from 11 to 2 during the week. We can give you any help with this sort of assignment, or if you've got other projects, we can give you some technical help with any of the other Adobe softwares. So the link is this first one up the top. You can also scan the QR code to get to that website as well. If you have any questions that you don't want to, or you don't have time to book a session for, there's our email address, so you can send us an email there too. Um, the bottom link has some other resources that you're able to go through for Express and heaps of other Adobe products or softwares. If you're
Mm.
not sure how to use it, there are some really handy resources just getting started through that bottom link there. But there's heaps of resources as well on YouTube and Google and things like that. Otherwise, if you want something specific for Adobe and from Swinburne, just head to that link there as well. Cool.
Thank you so much, Emma. So that is about how we can use of the Adobe Express to make that storytelling, inspiring video. If this is your assignment, or if you're willing to convert your assignment to the 4-minute video and share your outcome, your finding. And I guess we would love to make sure that I mean, this is something that we think that the people's knowledge is powerful. So we want to share the outcome of research passion or our idea with the people. So this is the way that you can come and join us in Design for Change 2026. So I will invite you to just follow up. If you have any question, you can send me an email, but I will inform you about the next workshop, which is the last one, startup pitch presentation, because we could aim for this 4-minute video to target the investors who are going to invest in your design idea, and that's how you are going to create your storytelling based on the evidences that an investor is interested to find out. With this, we come up to the end of this workshop. Thank you so much, Emma, for your time, and looking forward to receive your amazing videos every year. We are going to get inspired by your inspiring videos. So thank you so much, and all the best.